Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Global Economic Outlook. My name is Philip, and as usual, I'll be taking you through the major events in the global economy. Today, we have just one major story and a couple of other things that we report. But for the main story, we talk about petrol price and the curious case of Nigeria. Many would probably have noticed that the oil marketers in Nigeria tried to increase the price of fuel in the past week. Although the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has instructed them to revert back to the status quo, but this looks to be a temporary measure because the oil price has continued to rise in the global market. In fact, it reached over $70 some few days ago, and many experts are even already talking that about it reaching $100. Now, this should normally be good news for Nigeria, but strangely, it is not. Because Nigeria still exports oil in its crude form, and Nigeria's dependence on oil is also great. About 90% of Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings comes from oil. And if you look at it, the country should have channeled enough resources into building refineries and to build the capacity to refine oil. But the four refineries the country has, which ordinarily has a capacity of around 450,000 barrels per day, they are they are not working. And all that Nigeria needs, even locally, OPEC puts it around 470,000 barrels per day. So if the refineries were working, then there would be almost no dependence on any imports. But no, the refineries are not working, and what it means is that when the oil price goes up in the foreign market, because we have to import the oil, um, it has to be at the global market price, which is what is happening right now. Now, this is a strange case. Nigeria has been producing oil for such a long time, and refineries should have been a priority for the government. But that is not the case. Instead, the government is depending on Dangote to build the refineries, which he hopes to deliver in probably in the next couple of years. But again, Dangote is a businessman, and even he will have to sell petrol or refined oil at the market rate. The only thing that Nigeria might benefit from this is that it might probably Nigeria might have to pay in local currency for this, but even that will be factored in appropriately into the market price to ensure that they make enough profit. It doesn't matter who they are selling to; they must make profit, and that is a curious case, really. And it seems to be the same thing with African countries. We reported sometime last week that Ghana had reached an agreement with the UK for a trade partnership. Now, look at it. Look at the trade partnership Ghana enters into. There will be a removal of tariff on some products. Now, what products is Ghana exporting to the UK? You talk about cocoa in its raw state. You talk about tin tuna. You talk about banana. These are basic products. How much do they cost? But then they are going to be importing from UK, and UK is going to be exporting to Ghana free of charge at products like electronics, chemical products, and other major products. Now, it is clear that the balance of trade cannot be in favor of Ghana. It will certainly be in favor of the UK. So this is a concern for African countries, and this has to be changed. Otherwise, countries will just continue to languish in poverty. Now, for Nigeria, inflation is already high, already at a very high rate, and unemployment rate also is high. In fact, the statistics released by the National Bureau of Statistics shows that it's at its highest in a long time. And then if you increase the price of petrol, it more or less, incapacitates everyone. But yeah, the NNPC stepped in to ask them to revert to the old price. But even that, we don't know how sustainable that is, because it means that subsidy is back. Because if the PPPRA is saying that oil price should be 212 naira, and NNPC says no, go back to the price at 162.5, it means somebody is paying for it, which is likely NNPC, you know. And so, it means that subsidy is back one way or the other. So what needs to be done should be done. The refineries have to be fixed one way or the other, so that Nigeria can be in a better position, rather than this unnecessary exposure. Hopefully, our government will listen and do something about it. So that's it for the major story. The only thing other things we talk about Flutterwave attaining unicorn status as they raised $170 million. Nigerian fintech space seems to be, on a high right now, and we are happy and we congratulate Flutterwave for that. Also, the National Bureau of Statistics, they released the unemployment rate for the fourth quarter of 2020, and is now at 33.3%. This is high. It was 27.1% in the second quarter of 2020, and the situation is getting worse as it regards employment. And then there's an acute chip shortage in eating major companies around the world. Qualcomm, which is a major producer of semiconductors, really experiencing a chip shortage, and this is having its effect on almost every other sector: the auto industry, the gaming industry, the electronics industry. I think Huawei's customers abandoning Huawei phones is also a major factor driving up that demand. Hopefully, they will be able to fill that space soon. So that's it on the global economic outlook. The last thing we talk about are the best beaches in Africa. You can check them out. You have places like Watamu in Kenya, Chitimba in Malawi, some places in Seychelles as well. So that's it. Then we want to also invite you for the first ever live edition of the Global Economic Outlook. That will take place on the 27th of March, 2021. It's a Saturday, and you can register to join the session via Zoom, or you can watch on the YouTube channel. So that's it on the Global Economic Outlook. You can contact us on any of our numbers or via email, and we will respond to you as soon as possible. See you next week.